Good
Hello,
morning.
Lisa.
Hi, how are you? Oh, look at
I'm
you. You're
good.
so
I'm
full of
good.
energy.
Well, you know what? You have to be. You have to be these days. As the days are starting to get shorter, I think you just have to be that much more joyful and happy. And actually, I love the fall. So I'm like actually
Uh-huh.
really giddy about the cooler days
The
and
pumpkin, the apple, the apple.
mainly the apple. Not so much about
I'm
pumpkin.
the pumpkin, she's the apple.
I am the apple.
But you also just had a girls' getaway.
Did. Yes, we
So
had
yeah.
such a beautiful, beautiful time in the Okanagan. The weather was stunning. It was just perfectly pleasant all the days we were there. And yeah, just so much fun reconnecting with some girlfriends and so good for the soul.
You feel rejuvenated?
I don't know about rejuvenated because it was pretty much go, 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 right?
Yeah.
But it was really great to have some great laughs and reconnect. And one of our friends, she lives in Liverpool in the UK. So she comes over this time of year. So this is like the fourth year in a row that we've been together for a couple of weeks, and yeah, it's just so much fun. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so it was good.
I'm
It
very,
was really
very
really
glad
good.
to hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
And
Good.
you've got lots going on. You're
Yep.
in the middle of a move. You've got, huh,
Got
just
lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. I'm
don't know
trying
how you
not
do
to
it.
stress about it. We're having a bit of a conflict with a former tenant, and so I have a hearing for that next Monday, and I'm
Hmm.
not excited about it, but I'll be glad to get it over with and find out if I need to pay him money or or not.
Ugh,
It
ugh.
was initiated by me. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
a
Well,
big
anyway, those
a
are
big
always.
pain in the butt, and I hate it. And I tried to settle it with him outside of anything, but he didn't want to. So, okay.
Hmm. Well, I hope it goes well and it's as painless as it can possibly be in these situations. So
Yeah,
never a lot of fun, especially when you've got so many other things going on in life. So I
it'll
hope
be good to have it done.
yeah, I hope it gets resolved quick
Thank you.
and yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
But
yeah, that's part of what's been going on. And then of course, we lost Chewy. And actually when I was watching last week's episode, it was interesting because we had the intro that we filmed where we were talking about how I had lost Chewy. And then I started watching the episode and of course we had recorded it previously. And so as I was watching it, then Chewy jumped up on the bed behind me on the screen and went running across. And I was just like, and I just wanted to sit and just hungry for more glimpses of my little pupper there. But
oh,
yeah, so it was a nice little kind of addition. Not in order, in addition, it was a nice little add on to having such a great conversation with Gregson last week. So
oh, again, such a positive, fun person, and
yeah.
I could have talked to him for hours on end. So.
And from what I hear, he could have talked to us for hours on end. So
He probably could have. Match made in heaven, right?
I just listened. He was great to listen to, but he
Yeah,
he was an interrogator, asked us lots of questions, and that's
right.
kind of fun.
It was good. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a great conversation. We have another fun one planned for today.
Yes.
Glad you're tuning in. So one of the questions we always ask as part of our this or that, and it is very contentious, it's a very polarizing thing. The whole discussion around butter tarts, one of our Canadian favorites, one of our Canadian specialties. You're not a Canadian if you don't have a
An
side.
opinion.
If you don't have a side that you belong to, are you really Canadian? Just gonna
Right.
ask that question.
And what's the big question? Raisins
Or no raisins in your
in your
butter
butter
tart.
tarts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have somebody who has a lot of expertise on butter tarts because she is one of the main directors of the butter tart festival that happens every single year in Ontario. And we're going to chat with her everything about butter tarts and the festival and how much fun it is. And again, the polarizing debates. But you know what, everybody, you can't go wrong with really any answer there. Can you really? Can you? Can you? We're going to find out.
We'll find out. Everybody, please welcome Karen Mealing.
Hey, Karen.
Hi.
Hi, how
Hey,
are
oh wow, you
you?
sound so great.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
You're so prepared, so ready for this. This is awesome.
It's like you've done this before.
Don't think I've ever talked to anyone about butter tarts for an hour or an hour and a half before, but
Well,
Prepare
there's
yourself.
a first time for everything.
yes.
I don't think we've ever talked about butter tarts for that long either.
No,
Yeah.
No.
no. But we do spend some time
We
chatting
Yeah.
about these on
Yeah.
our
So
shows. So yeah.
yeah. And I do spend time talking about butter tarts.
I think you kind of have to.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
kind of an important thing in your
Yeah.
position.
Yes.
Well, we
So,
are so excited to have you join us for our podcast today. And I'm sure our audience is going to be thrilled to know that this podcast is going to be all about butter tarts, everything about them.
Yes.
And having you here and to chat about this lovely Canadian delicacy
Yeah.
and hopefully get into a bit of the history of the butter tart itself, but also the butter tart festival, which
Yeah.
is
Sure.
a huge event
It is.
in Ontario, and get to know that a little bit more too. So
kind
Sounds
of
good.
feels to me like this is going to be required watching slash listening for people who do not live in Canada, for
Yeah.
our viewers or listeners who have heard us talk about butter tarts or have been presented with this never-ending question, raisins or no raisins,
Yes.
and have no idea what we're talking about when we say in
Yeah.
your butter tarts. So let's
Yes.
get some more information. We're really excited to have you
Okay.
here.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. So first of all, can you tell us a little bit about butter tarts and what they are and how they began?
Sure. Well, I'm not sure if anyone really knows exactly how a butter tart began. There's a lot of different variations of what their origins might have been. So it could have been maybe adapted from a southern pecan pie, an old-fashioned sugar pie, or maple syrup pie, even vinegar pies. I've never heard of a vinegar pie, but I was reading up on them to see. And there's also the differentiation of what should be in a butter tart. But I
Mhm.
think a lot of times there are people that were settling in Canada. We think about the ingredients that they would have had on hand. That's what makes a butter tart. So it's the flour, the butter, the lard. The ingredients, the filling would be butter, brown sugar, eggs, and then dried currants, for example, is something that they would add in there. So I think that they were making a dessert with the ingredients that they had on hand, and it
Mhm.
became this iconic Canadian dessert that we all know about, but yes, people outside of Canada have never heard of.
no, but we're
No.
trying to do our best to get the word out. And we've had a number of international bakers on our
hmm
podcast, and we've shared our recipes with them. So hopefully,
Yes.
other parts of the world will get to know the butter tart and love the butter tart as much as
Yes.
we do here.
Yes, we have in Midland, we have the cruise ship that comes in no, about 11 times per summer, and most of them are American visitors, and we actually give them a copy of a butter tart recipe. We have some butter tarts for them to enjoy as well, because they've never heard of them. So we liken
Yeah,
it to a pecan pie tart type of thing. That's the closest we could reference it to for them.
right.
And yes, but they do take home the recipes that we've got for them, so they can try them at home.
That's great.
Amazing.
Spreading
Yeah.
the word.
Yes.
Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are and what your
Sure.
background is?
Sure. My name's Karen Mealing. I'm currently the manager of culture and tourism for the town of Midland. So under me, we take care of all of our town's events and culture and the harbor and public art and mural restoration. And one of our events is the Ontario's Best Butter Tart Festival. When I was hired in fall of 2017, my job was half of it was to organize this amazing event, and the other half was to take on cultural programming. I was a cultural development coordinator at that time. So previous to that, I was involved in the local art scene, and I was a director of a local art gallery and art school. I've always been a baker from
Okay.
scratch. My mother was too. My grandmother on my father's side was as well. So they've always baked butter tarts as well. I'm more of a chocolate fan, so if I had a tray of brownies or cookies in front of me and butter tarts, I probably would have gone for a brownie or a cookie when I was younger, but I've learned to really appreciate butter tarts in this role.
I
Yeah,
bet.
Yeah.
I
it's
bet.
quite amazing to me when I was looking at the website and just kind of realizing how many different types of butter tarts
Yeah.
there can be. Not
Mhm.
necessarily, what is usual to us, like what we think of as a
Yeah.
butter tart. I don't think of currants. She always thinks of currants because that's what she likes in them.
Yeah.
Um, but just the variety,
Yeah.
how in the world do people think of so many different types of butter tarts to bring in?
Yeah, I'm not sure because when we have our contest at the festival, we have a traditional category that's open to professionals and amateur and home bakers, and then we also have what we call wild style, which is a butter tart that's either got a non-traditional ingredient or two, or it's melded with another dessert.
Right.
So traditional is, plain pecan, walnut, coconut, currants, maple
Mhm.
syrup, or a combination of there with those. And wild style, they come up with these amazing things, and if I were a judge, that's what I would want to judge because
Yeah.
you get all these different interesting flavor combinations. Some of them are a little out there, but some of them are really, really delicious.
Yeah. So what constitutes, so are there, for that wild category then,
Hmm.
are there certain basic rules that apply to make it still sort of that butter tart?
Yeah,
Like the filling has, like it has to have the egg and the brown
yeah.
sugar and
It
that
still
kind of
has to
stuff,
be,
or?
yeah, it still has to be a butter tart, and have to be able to tell that there's still that butter tart. We'll call it goo, the butter tart filling,
Goo, yeah.
but they can have a different combination. So sometimes it's a cheesecake, or there's fruit inside them, or they've added, a couple years ago we had one that was a plain butter tart and it had dark chocolate chips inside, but they also had homemade potato chips on top. So you had that crunch from the crust, the crunch from the salt, and the crunch from the chips with a bit of salt. That dark chocolate cut the sweetness of the butter tart. It was a really nice bite.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so hard to wrap my mind around. Now, was this
How,
the category that our buddy Stephen Levitt was judging this year? I think
Yeah,
he did the wild.
I think he was wild style as well. And because
Yeah,
I'm
he
a
was
home baker,
excited.
I love watching like the Food Network, their baking championship shows, and that's how I find
Mhm.
some of our I always see who's in Ontario.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah, there's lots,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
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 From lots of people from the Great Canadian Baking Show were there and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, lots of great bakers to choose from for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. So how many different butter tarts were entered this last year?
Ooh, in the morning would have had we could 70 in the morning and less in the afternoon. The morning is traditional. So
Okay.
we usually sell that one out. We can do 35 professional and 35 home bakers. And that's an easy one because everyone has that recipe that they've either grown up with or they've perfected. That's maybe their grandmother's or their mother's recipe. And then the wild style one, the home bakers aren't, some of them really like that category, but some of them stay away from it. They're not as
Mhm.
adventurous as some of the professional bakers when it comes to that.
Gotcha. So is there an application process in order to get your butter tart judged? And if so, what does that look like?
Sure. In March, our festival is always the second Saturday in June. And in the first week or two of March, we will open up our online contest and people can enter. There's no criteria other than that you have to, specify if they're a home baker or a professional baker. And they also have to make sure that they bake their butter tarts in a certified kitchen. That is a requirement even for the home bakers. Our local health unit requires it, so do we. And then we take their registrations until we fill up to capacity. As I said, we cap it at 35 per category and division just because we don't want any of our judges to get sick. Because
Mhm.
some of them, they think this is the greatest opportunity. They love butter tarts.
Yeah.
And they get off the stage and you can tell they're a little bit green after tasting that many butter tarts in 2 hours.
That is a
Yeah.
lot of butter tarts
It's a
to
lot
go
of butter
through.
tarts.
And yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, because that's 70 in the morning with the traditional. And then you said how many on the wild category?
Trying to think I think we had 35 for the professional and probably less than 10 for the home bakers in the afternoon.
With the
And
wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
do you have the same judges in the morning as the
No.
afternoon or a different set
No,
of
they
judges?
would.
Different judges. We have 12 judges in the morning, a different set of 12 in the afternoon, and then for best in show, that's for those who have placed first, either for the professional home or for traditional and wild style. Then we have three judges for that. So we don't want anyone to go into sugar shock. We also
Yeah,
have
no.
fresh fruit and vegetables and available just because if you need a little something to cut that, plus water, coffee, tea, milk, anything they need.
So is the best in show a separate day?
No, it's all the same
It's
day.
all the same day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what a long day.
Yeah.
My
And,
goodness.
and we
And,
don't make the
and
judge, oh, sorry, I was just gonna say, we don't make the judges taste that many butter tarts. It's more of a round robin, so they don't have to taste 70 something butter
Oh
tarts
yeah,
in
that's
two
good. They
hours.
might think they want to
uh,
Yeah.
realize.
So the final three judges for the best in show,
Mhm.
would they choose, like, it would be just, how many butter tarts would they have to taste?
Yeah, they only taste four.
Oh,
The first place ones from pro traditional, home traditional, wild style, and pro, and then wild style home.
So
gotcha.
all
Wow.
three of them are
All
tasting
the best
four.
ones. Yeah,
So,
all.
so what won best in show this last year?
Yes. This year was but the best in show was circles and squares. They're pecan butter tart. And I think our judges really like pecan butter tarts this year because in the professional traditional, all three first, second, and third were pecan tarts.
Hmm.
So
Really?
we had some pecan lovers on the panel this year.
Sounds like
Obviously.
it.
Yeah, but it was a very
Obviously.
good tart. I do taste them at the end of the day, and I taste all the winners, not all the butter tarts, just the winners.
Yeah.
And it was a nice tart.
Do
Wow.
you go around and still like take a peek and say, "Oh, that one sounds really good. I'd like to take a taste of that one," like during the day, especially
Yeah,
in the afternoon with the wild style ones?
yeah. That well, I'm usually too busy, and I don't. If I start to eat a butter tart in the middle of the day, I might crash because I'm busy running the whole
Okay.
festival.
Yeah.
But what we do is because we don't have the judges are tasting the tarts, we don't want them to eat the whole entire tart. That's just way too
Mhm.
much. So we say after you've taken the look at the appearance and you've scored that part, then take a small piece for your sample and your tasting, and then cut the rest of it up into smaller pieces. And then we take all these and we have them on platters and we bring them out and we circulate them through the audience who's watching them. And also some of our volunteers in the back end, they taste them as they go. And
That's so fun. And
yeah,
so there's no admission price for
nope,
people to come and
nope.
basically speculate and be the audience and taste all these delicious
That's right.
treats.
Well, yeah, our
Okay.
entire festival, it's a street festival. So there's 5 blocks of our entire downtown core that we close off. We use all of our waterfront parks. There's no admission at all. There'd be no way for us to gate it either. But we want to make sure that anyone who wants to attend certainly can.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
and this festival is widely attended. I
It
mean, I
is
think last year you had, what was it? It was some insane number.
about
Like,
60,000 people in one day.
amazing.
Yeah, and the population of the town's about 18,000. So,
Oh,
Wow.
it is very busy.
how
Yeah.
far is your reach? Like, how far are people coming to enjoy the Butter Tart Festival every
Yeah.
I
year?
mean, from Victoria, maybe next year.
Yeah, yeah, we have had people travel from BC. Um, we get them people from the United States. My father-in-law lives in Texas and he's never been, so he came up this year because he loves butter tarts.
Hmm.
I also know that people have traveled from Europe to visit family locally and they've attended as well. But we see on our social media people saying, "I'm coming from Manitoba specifically for the festival." So it's really
Wow.
amazing that our reach has gotten to that point.
That
That
is
is
Yeah,
so wonderful.
yeah,
Like a small little treat and how
yeah,
much impact it can make in your community,
yeah,
and driving all of that. I mean, as a tourism association, this must be amazing to get that
yeah,
many people coming to your town to enjoy not
yeah.
only the Butter Tart Festival, but hopefully spending some time in the community as well.
and some money.
Yeah.
Yes, we're figuring the economic impact of the festival is about $2 to $4 million per year.
That's
So
Incredible.
you think about the people coming
fantastic.
and staying overnight, they're eating in the restaurants, they're staying at the hotels, they're gassing up their cars, yeah, and what they're purchasing from the downtown as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
incredible.
you came on board in 2017. The
Hmm.
festival itself, the first one was in 2013, if
That's
I'm not
right.
mistaken.
That's right. That's correct.
So who came up with this concept?
Sure. Her name is Barb Rollinson, and she had a kitchenware store in the downtown, and she was baking butter tarts and bringing them into her store to sell. And she realized that other people were as passionate about butter tarts as she was. And she decided to pitch to the downtown BIA at the time, let's have a butter tart festival. I think it was just, let's have the downtown stores expand onto the sidewalk. We'll have some
Yeah.
butter tart vendors. We'll get a few people down and increase visitation. I don't think they quite expected by 11 o'clock that morning, sell 10,000 butter tarts. And even like I didn't work for the town at that time. And
Mhm.
I remember hearing, we're going to have a butter tart festival. Who's going to come to that? And I think other people felt that same way. And they were like, oh my gosh. But people really are very passionate about their butter tarts. And the event stayed with the BIA and with Barb for a few years. And then the event grew to the point where it was beyond the capacity of the BIA. And then
Mhm.
by 2015, 2016, it became a town event.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
And
but having a crazy idea and it comes up with this.
oh,
Love it.
fantastic. It
Yeah.
is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just so cool how a town could get together
Yeah.
behind, again, such a cute little, like, tasty little
Yep.
treat that is,
Hmm.
you know, uh there's so much discussion about how people enjoy it, and to
Yeah,
be able to put on a festival and have all of anybody to come to this festival to taste these creations, and also bakers coming
yeah,
up with some new variations
yeah,
and really expanding the love for something so simple
yeah,
at the end of the
yeah,
day. So
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
It's been,
So
yeah.
love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
And the week, but a month before the festival, you can kind of feel the butter tart buzz starting in town because the businesses are getting ready in the downtown. We're starting to talk about it a little bit more here. We're marketing it. We have our operations staff, they do all of our road closures, so they're starting to get ready. And it's just like you feel this everywhere I go. Everyone's, are you ready for the festival? Are you ready for the festival? So it's really the impact on our community is huge.
That is incredible. Now, do you have any other festivals that you guys run in Midland as well, or is the Butter
Yes.
Tart Festival the main attraction?
It's our biggest event. It's our signature event. It's one of the top 100 festivals and events in Ontario. This past weekend, we actually just had tall ships in town. That only happens every 3 years. So we just had 4 tall ships from Canada and the United States visiting our port. And,
Love
we
them.
also had Rib Fest this weekend and we had a Midway. So it was a very busy weekend. We also
Awesome.
put together our Canada Day celebrations, which is the largest one in the North Simcoe area, our region. We also have a mural festival because we have about 30 outdoor murals in our community, so,
Oh,
including one.
wow.
Yeah, there's a mural in our downtown and along our waterfront that at one point it was the largest outdoor historical mural in North America.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of yeah, it's a great place to visit. So if you're ever
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the area,
for sure. Now, how far away are you from Toronto?
we're about a 90-minute drive north of Toronto, so
Okay.
very easy to reach us.
Yeah.
Not bad at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
Well, we keep talking about doing a cross. Oh my goodness, my phone is on. We keep talking about doing a cross-country tour so we can visit all
yeah.
these people that we have interviewed.
Okay.
Well, we're thinking international now, but I'm thinking maybe we need to make sure that we're in the Midland area around June 13th,
That's right.
2026.
That's right. Yes.
So that we can attend for ourselves.
Yes.
That would
Yes.
If you
be
want judges,
Yes,
fun.
we might be able to make that happen.
that'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I'd love that. That would be.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm having a more of an appreciation for butter tarts. I think
Yeah.
being part of the baking scraps has really helped with that because in the beginning, when we first started last year, we were talking about butter tarts and the eternal question of
Hmm.
raisins or
Yep.
no raisins. And I always said no raisins, but I really didn't like butter tarts at all.
Yeah.
And as I kind of evolved and learned more and actually tasted a butter tart that was not in a package of 6 from Safeway grocery store, which was how I had only ever
Yeah.
tasted them growing up, I realized how much I enjoyed them. And that I
Hmm.
do like raisins in my butter tarts,
Okay.
to Christina's eternal chagrin.
I'm team no raisins. Yeah,
That's
I don't
funny.
mind raisins on their own, but I do not like them in anything.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
can judge the ones with raisins. That's fine.
yeah.
There you go. So, as Lisa's just said, her perception of butter
Hmm.
tarts and how she enjoys them has changed over the
Yes.
years. Has yours as
Yes.
well? And
Because when I was interviewing for the job, because I have not been a huge butter tart fan growing up, and I thought, what am I going to do in the interview if they ask me if I like butter tarts? Because they're not my favorite. But doing this event, I've really come to appreciate them, and I've actually had the chance to taste so many different ones. And as you said, you get to taste some different ones, and it changes your perspective about how they are. And yeah,
It
like I've
really
tasted
does.
some. There's a couple, like there's a white chocolate cheesecake with raspberries that went a couple years ago. That one sits in the back of my mind. I made sure that they came this year, the vendor came this year, and I told my husband, you have to go pick up some of those.
So they bring back the same kind that they
Sometimes
did.
they do, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing. Yes, because you also have butter tarts for sale
that's right.
at your festival.
That's
And
right.
yeah, and I think I saw a number like 300,000.
Yep.
Is that correct? You
Yep.
sold 300,000 butter tarts
Yes. Yeah,
last year.
yes, we have about 230 vendors. That includes food trucks and general merchandise vendors, but it also includes about 60 to 75 butter tart vendors. And yeah, they sold about 300,000 butter tarts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
impressive.
Yeah, it is a lot. Yeah.
It's really
uh,
fun.
a
Yeah.
lot of sugar high in the
It's a
town of
lot of
Midland
yes.
in the middle of June.
Yes, a lot of people buy them and fill their freezers because, as we were saying earlier, your perspective could change. My husband was never a fan of butter tarts growing up either. I would make a
Hmm.
blueberry butter tart that he liked, but now when he
Ooh.
comes to the festival, he puts a cooler in my car because I'm parked closer to this where the event's happening,
Yes.
and he fills that. He'll go shopping all in the morning and buy all the tarts he wants, and then he's got them in the freezer for a month, and that's what he eats for dessert.
That is amazing. I love that because butter
Yeah,
tarts, of course, freeze so
they
beautiful.
do. Yes.
So it's easy to just take them out as
Yeah.
you have those little cravings. And
Yes.
you've got a nice selection of them.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah,
So,
pick your pleasure. It's
yeah.
awesome. That is
I'm
fantastic.
definitely feeling the butter tart urge right now,
Yeah,
thinking about
right.
it. I
We
think
always,
I would enjoy a cheesecake raspberry filling in a butter tart. I think
Yeah.
that would be very good.
It is very good.
so in
Mm.
your mind, is that your most favorite butter tart that you've ever had? Or is there another one that kind of, sticks out in your mind
Yeah.
as being your all-time favorite?
Yeah. I've had a number that I've enjoyed that one. I've enjoyed the one with the chips on top as well because that's a
Yeah.
little different. This year's winner, the pecan one, that was a pretty good one. We had a home baker a few years ago from Owen Sound, and she made a pecan tart, and her filling, as soon as I tasted it, I went, "Oh, I know exactly why she won." There was, the sugar had melted nicely and there was no grit and it was just such a smooth feeling, but it was just a slightly bit runny. So I knew exactly why she had won. And so there's always those ones that stand out in your mind. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing that there can be so many differentiations
yeah,
between
Mhm.
different recipes and
yeah,
how, you can taste them and know which one is better.
yeah,
Or I mean, that doesn't make sense. Obviously, you have preferences, but that there are
yeah,
so many different kinds that people
yeah.
can actually be bringing a whole bunch, and one of them is going to be obviously better than the other.
That's
Yeah.
right.
This is not making sense. Anything that I'm saying, I'm just thinking it's
It
weird
No,
that
does.
it could
no,
be so many. It's a basic thing, and if you're bringing a traditional butter tart, it's amazing how many different types of that you
That's
can
right. It,
yeah.
depends. How many eggs do you put in? Do you use corn syrup? Do you use maple syrup? How much brown sugar are you using? All these things factor into it. And how long did you cook it for? And at the temperature, did you put
have.
vinegar or apple cider in it?
Mhm.
Yes.
How much
Yeah.
salt? Yeah.
Yeah.
So do
So
you
many.
find that your baking background
Hmm.
helps you? I mean, you're not judging, but
No.
it gives you a better understanding of
Yeah.
all the different things, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
get
Because
interviewed a lot about
I get interviewed a lot about the festival, yes. And I have been
Yeah.
a judge in the past, not at our event.
Mhm.
In Kawartha Lakes, they have a butter tart tour,
Okay.
which isn't an event. There's a list of all the bakeries and their regional tourism organization that sell butter tarts, and it's a self-guided tour. And
Yeah.
I've gone and I've judged their festival for them.
Oh,
I
that's
was given a
fun.
tray of 13 butter tarts and half an hour to judge them all. That was fun.
Well,
That,
yeah, that's daunting.
It is a little
that
bit
is.
daunting, a little bit much, but you can tell the difference because who put lemon juice in it versus a vinegar, or did
Mhm.
someone add a little bit of cinnamon into it, right? And you could
Oh,
tell, and
Oh,
how well was their sugar cooked, right?
yeah.
It's all different.
All
And
the,
the crust to filling ratio, that has to be just right as well. I'm about the filling. I like the
mhm.
filling. I don't want a lot of crust. I like to have
Right.
a
yeah. Yeah, I guess everybody has their ways or the components of them that they appreciate the most, right?
yeah,
Whether you are that filling person and the type of filling that you like to have, if you like
yeah,
that nice gooiness coming out, or if you
hmm,
want something like just,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like texture.
yes,
And then of course the crust I think would be an important factor as well,
yeah,
like
yeah,
depending
Yeah, there's so
and
many
personal
different types of
preferences.
crusts. Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah,
personal preferences, right? The sweet,
yeah,
salty aspects of it
yeah,
versus, people who love the, cloyingly sweet. Like
yes,
there are people who like all the sugar all the time,
yeah, yeah,
lovers versus, that sweet, salty, or
yeah,
more even to the salty end. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so many different ways that you can interpret
yeah,
butter tart, and
yes,
you see them all at the
I
festival.
do. You do. And when I started to do all the social media for this event, I never realized how contentious raisins versus no raisins was. I did a post about raisins versus no raisins. It was actually, I shared an article, something from the CBC where it was a farce, and it was the woman who first put raisins in butter tarts and her apology to Canadians about that. And I just reshared that for fun. And our social media exploded. I'd never been responsible for a social media account to that capacity, that exploded to
Mhm.
that kind of a capacity before. And I
Amazing.
just went,
Oh, I have
okay,
to see
people are
that.
really serious about this.
Yes.
They
I mean,
Yes.
we have that question on our podcast
Mhm.
with every guest.
Every week.
We have the debate. And
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty even.
Hmm.
Raisins versus no raisins. What did
Yeah.
you find from your social media post? Was it fairly even, like in terms of raisin lovers versus the don't put those things in my
Yeah.
butter tart type people?
It's always right down, it seems to be right down the middle. And then some people say, I want my pecans instead. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Another added complexity.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, how fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's funny
amazing.
because butter
Yeah.
tarts are actually quite difficult technically for me personally. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but the filling is the important part for me as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
And it's always, I want to have it nicely filled, but if I put too much in, then it's going to overflow.
Yeah.
If I don't put enough in, then it sinks. And so I'm thinking, wow, I've got to find a really good recipe that gets me to that point where I have a perfectly filled tart that
Yes.
has the exact right ratio. And that's difficult. I
Yeah.
need to get on this because
Yeah.
I want to enter one of these days.
You have to be from Ontario to enter our
Oh, okay.
contest.
Well, I'll just judge then.
Sorry, it is called Ontario's Best Butter Tart Festival, and
Oh, okay.
that's why.
Well, I thought it was the festival part that was the
Yeah,
best, not the butter
yeah,
tarts.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no,
still the butter tart. They are more known in Ontario than anywhere else in the
Yes,
country.
mm,
Uh,
definitely.
in 2019, Canada Post issued the Sweet Canada collection of stamps, and it had an Nanaimo bar stamp,
Oh,
it had a butter tart stamp, had a maple syrup pie stamp, and blueberry grunt and Saskatoon berry. So I actually
that's
had
perfect.
them come and present the butter tart stamp to our mayor in 2022.
Oh,
that's
Because
I
we
love
amazing.
that.
Yes, because we didn't have the festival in 2020 or 2021 for obvious reasons. So
Yeah,
we waited till 2022.
yeah.
That
Perfect.
is
Okay.
incredible. Yeah,
I was going to say that it would be the 13th festival on the 13th next year, but I guess it
Yeah,
won't be the 13th because you
yeah,
missed a couple of years, but
yeah. I'm not
we
never sure how to
understand.
count. I'm never sure how to count that anymore now that we've
Right.
missed 2 years
Yeah.
because of the
Kind of
pandemic.
sucks.
yeah.
I did plan all of 2020, 2020.
Mm.
It just I
I
had to
bet.
cancel it 2 months before. So
Yeah,
unfortunately,
that is
Oh,
unfortunate. Yeah.
yeah,
So many things were canceled because
yeah,
of those
yeah,
extraordinary times. So
yeah.
thankfully we're
yeah,
back to normal and we can
yes,
enjoy things like the butter
yeah,
tart
Travel.
festival again
yes,
and travel and
yes,
exactly, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, all that
So
stuff.
yeah.
Oh, that
So
must have felt weird and sorry. Must have
no, go
felt
ahead.
weird for not having one in 2021, like a big blank space
yeah.
in your work.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
we did is we still wanted to celebrate it in some capacities, so we created with our with the county of Simcoe, which is the county that we're located within,
Mhm.
we did a butter tart cycle trail. We have amazing, beautiful trails along Georgian Bay, and they travel through Penetanguishene, Midland, Tay and Tiny. Those are the four municipalities that make up North Simcoe. And we reached out to bakeries and eateries in town and said, if you're selling butter tarts that day, let us know and we'll promote it. And we encourage people to go out and cycle our trails and purchase butter tarts.
That's
And if
great.
you took a photo of yourself out cycling and buying butter tarts, the county sent you a I love bikes and tarts butter t-shirt. So it was a
Oh,
lot of fun. And we actually had some people travel from outside of our region. And of course, if you wanted to drive there in your car, you certainly could. But it was just a way to get people out uh,
Hmm.
doing something where you weren't too close to other people,
Yeah.
and they could have the lineups outside their businesses, and just to help our local businesses get a little bit of a boost one day.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
Which
love
they
that.
definitely could use at that
yeah.
point, that's for
So
sure.
it
Yeah.
was just kind of fun to be able to just do something like
Yeah.
that.
And I
And
love the
then
pivot, right?
Mhm.
Like
yeah,
just finding a new way of being
yeah,
able to still embrace and
yeah,
celebrate the butter tart, but in a different way
yeah,
within the guidelines that we all
that's
had
right.
to live in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when we had the festival again in 2022, it was really amazing to see everyone come back. We weren't
Yeah.
quite sure how many people would show up because we were planning and going, are we going to have to cancel? Are we going to be able to keep going forward? And yeah, the fact that we were able to have the festival and have everyone come back was really amazing.
That
I
is
bet.
great.
Yeah.
And so the plans are well underway for 2026, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, we never stop planning.
So any new things that people can expect as part of the festival for 2026?
We haven't gotten to that point of new things yet, but we'll still have all the vendors, all the downtowns, the 230 vendors, the downtown will be closed. We'll still have the contest. We have a stage with live music all day. We have buskers and entertainers. We have a kids zone. Lots of things to keep you busy for the entire festival day.
Great. And you guys have some fabulous sponsors as well that have
We
come
do.
on board to help support. Do you want to do a shout out
Sure.
to them as well?
Yes, of course. Chapman's Ice Cream is now our presenting sponsor for this year and next year as well. And they launched their butter tart ice cream at our festival this year.
Oh,
And
amazing.
were giving out samples of their butter tart ice cream from the time that the festival started at 9 a.m. until they had a lineup till 5, right till 5 p.m. It does have raisins in that butter tart, the ice cream. Just for warning anyone, if they're not a butter tart lover, but it is a very nice ice cream. And then we also have the Egg Farmers of Ontario. They've been sponsoring our contest for a number of years, so it's great to have them on board as well. And of
Yeah,
course, a number of others, Desjardins and Scotiabank, they've also been sponsoring and Excess Storage, so a number of them.
That's great.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Very
So I
exciting.
heard that the day starts with the ceremonial piping of the tart.
that's right.
So
Yes,
tell us a little bit about that.
certainly. We have our Legion has their pipes and drums group. It's about 50, they've had it around for about 50 years. And it's like, think of piping the haggis in. That's exactly what we do. They start at the waterfront and we take last year's tart. So whoever was the winner last year, we asked them to bring one of, no, a fresh one, obviously, but one of last year's tarts that won. And we put it on a nice little platter. And we have a gentleman who's all dressed up in his kilt and he's got the pipes and drums behind him and he's carrying it up the street. And it, they present it to the mayor. We have our town crier there. So it's presented to the mayor. The town crier does a cry, welcomes everyone. The mayor says a few words to welcome everyone. And then the festival is officially opened. So it is a really fun, interesting to think. People just, part the seas of all the people because by 9 a.m., even though the festival has just started, it is packed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
How fun. Like
Yes.
what electric energy
Yeah.
there must be in the
Yeah.
town during that day.
Yeah.
So,
It's a very positive event. We're also, my team is obviously very tired at the end of the day, but it's a great day. We know that, that it's had that huge impact for our community that we've got a lot of feedback from visitors who've come and had a great day. So it's a lot of fun for us to plan. A lot of work for us to plan, but it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I bet
yeah.
it's a lot of work, but it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how many people are actually directly involved with the planning part every
Well,
year?
yeah, when I was first hired, it was me, which is a lot of details. And then my coworker, she would help, and the summer students that she had under her, they would help us securing some of the volunteers towards the end. And of course, it's working the day of, because when you have 230 vendors trying to set up in the morning, you can't be in the same spot.
Hmm.
So we've since changed it. When I became the manager, we changed things around a little bit. So there's myself, there's Nicole Major, sorry, she's our tourism and special event planner. We also have two event coordinators, so Alicia Forja and Alana Brousseau, and then we also have a summer student. So we've actually got a team of 5 now who are
Oh,
starting to,
wow.
and everyone takes on. I oversee the entire event, but Nicole takes care of the vendors and the logistics, the road closures. Alicia takes care of the entertainment stage and the contest and securing sponsors. Alana just started with us this spring, so she's taking care of the marketing and learning how to run the contests. So it's not
It's
quite
a
so.
lot.
It's yeah,
But
we're not so worried now that because I used to think, what happens if I get hit by a bus or get sick?
Mm.
Because I won't be able. I won't.
show must go on.
That's right. So I wanted to create a butter tart festival Bible for a number of years of how to run this event. So I've actually been starting to work on that.
That's
That
great.
is
And you're sharing
awesome.
your wisdom with the rest of the team so
Yeah.
we can kind of fill in the gaps if need
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
never hoping that it
No.
ever will be
Yeah.
necessary. And what about all of these? So 230
Hmm.
vendors,
Yeah.
all of the, booths, etc., that they have, are those rentals or are they owned by Midland? Or like, do you have to secure a vendor for
Yeah.
the actual vendor booths every year? Or
Yeah, so they bring their own tents and set up.
okay.
Actually, just in a couple weeks, we're going to open up applications for the
Mhm.
festival, and we'll close them in mid-January. We had last year 434 vendors apply. We had
Wow.
to say no to about 200 of them just because we just don't have the capacity. The footprint's
Mhm.
not big enough to allow them to participate. So we
Mhm.
spent about 3 to 4 days going through everyone's application and vetting them and jurying them and seeing which ones we'll select. We always do the butter tarts first
Mhm.
Then we can move on to other foods, other baked goods, and the food trucks. And then we break for lunch because by then we're starving. And then we do general merchandise after that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Wow.
And do they pay a fee to be able
they
to
do.
be there? Yes,
Yeah,
excellent. So that
there's a
helps with
fee.
the
Yeah,
revenue.
yeah,
Great. Because I'm sure this, I mean, it's not cheap to put on an event of this
no.
size.
Well, we have to, we advertise it. We have
Mhm.
to rent things like porta
Mhm.
potties. We have to get security.
Yeah.
We rent special barricades because we're closing our downtown. We're street closures. So
Hmm.
we've been renting special barricades for a number of years now to make sure that cars don't get into the festival, even if it's not because not everyone thinks they're going to do something malicious, but what if someone had a heart attack while they're driving and they would feel
Yeah.
horrible if that they hurt
Yeah.
someone. So
Yeah.
we have to rent all that. There's a lot of things that we have to put in place from, yeah, from organizing these advertising to make sure we have napkins available on the table for the contest.
Mhm.
Right.
All these different
Yeah.
little things that people don't think about all these details.
Garbage cans. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're all in
Yeah.
my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet they are. Yeah. You must
Oh,
have a Filofax in there.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. So I want to get it out into my butter-tart Bible.
get
yeah.
it
Well,
out.
that
Yes.
Butter Tart Bible will probably be a great resource for obviously not only people to come after you retire from
Yes.
your role,
Yeah.
but also probably a really great resource for other communities that are looking at putting on these types of festivals around Canada, I would imagine. Did
I don't know
you
if I'm not going to share that.
No, I was going to say, don't give away all your secrets.
all your secrets are going to be closely
Yes, they are.
kept.
Yeah.
Very, very close to the chest.
Yes, we are the original and the largest butter tart festival in the
Yeah.
country.
Oh,
There are other people who are starting to have butter tart. Sometimes they say they're festivals, but they are more vendors in arenas. But we
mhm.
Hmm.
need people to realize is that that's not what we are. We are a true street festival. You'll see
Yeah.
buskers, you'll see people on stilts walking up and down the festival. You'll see the contests and be able to. It's inside where it's air conditioned, so a lot of people like that break if it's a warm day, and
Yeah.
you can sit there and listen to live music all day as well in the park, right beside the water.
Okay, we're doing this next year,
Yeah.
Yes,
Christina.
I
You know
hope
this,
so. I
right?
hope we can make that work. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hope so too.
I was actually more thinking about how other communities could
Oh,
actually do
okay.
their own festivals. Like I'm thinking
Not butter
or the
tarts.
Nanaimo
Okay.
Bar Festival or
Yes,
something like
yes.
that. Not to steal the Butter Tart
Okay,
Festival
yes, okay.
from you. That's not my intent. It
Yes.
was more, to
Okay, yes.
celebrate some of the other
Yes.
great things
Yes.
that we have, both sweet and even savory,
Yes.
that we could I think would be amazing
Yeah.
to have different food festivals like this
Yeah.
or specific to
Yeah.
one, the butter tart, the
Yeah.
sugar pie in Quebec, the
Yes.
yeah, just the Nanaimo bar,
Yeah.
Nanaimo, that
Yes.
kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? I think
Yes.
would be a
Okay.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just made a face. I don't think I'm going to change my mind on not liking Nanaimo bars. Apparently, I'm not a true Canadian, but
But
that's
I grew up,
okay.
yeah, my mom called them tea time bars when I was growing up.
Tea time bars.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
they aren't yellow. How she makes them, they're white.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
she makes a nice custard filling for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
But
okay, I might like
Curious.
them. I
yes.
might like your mom's tea
Yes.
time bars.
Yes. But in 29, I think it was 2019, our first place and second place for the wild style professional were Nanaimo butter tarts.
Okay.
Oh,
So I don't remember tasting those ones, but, or was it second and third? I think it was second and third, sorry. And they had taken those two Canadian desserts and melded them together.
mishmash them. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always fun to put things together and see what you come up with.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of wild butter tart flavors we could come up with besides just currants. That's not wild.
No, definitely. I think that would fall under the traditional, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yes, it would
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
So,
I've seen a lot of different ones over the years where you're seeing I've seen someone put a Rice Krispie square on top of their butter tart. I've seen someone pile it with popcorn and caramel drizzle. Uh,
Ooh.
the weirdest one we probably ever had was a peanut curry butter tart, and the curry scent from it was so strong I had to store them. Like we get the contest tarts in the Friday night before, so that we're ready to go Saturday morning.
Mhm.
I had to store them away from the other butter tarts because I just didn't want them to
Take
impart.
on.
Yeah, yeah,
oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah.
was there ever a butter tart flavor that absolutely didn't work?
I think that might have been one.
That
Someone did enter a ham and cheese one once. I
Ooh,
did not taste that one.
I think I would like that one. I
The
don't
ham and cheese with that caramel, I don't know. The butter tart
Yeah.
flavor is a little bit different.
would
the
that would
onions in
depend on
there.
the cheese, the type of
Yeah.
cheese that they would use.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. I
like a
before
cream cheese, you could
yes.
probably get away with it, right?
Maybe. Yeah,
Or
but if it was ham and like cheddar cheese, that would be weird, I think.
cheddar. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd
But
be
I
like
do
a quiche. It wouldn't be a butter tart.
yeah. In 20, I think it was I can't remember if it was 20 what year it was, maybe 2017. One of the local restaurants, she took like freeze-dried crickets. I think she pulverized them and she put them in butter tarts. I did not sample that. But I've also seen people selling black garlic butter tarts.
Mm,
Yeah.
I could
Oh,
see
Yeah.
that working.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be Gavin. Hey, would do
Yeah,
that one.
Gavin would
Yeah,
totally do a
right,
black
Gavin.
garlic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's
Mhm.
fascinating to me that you can have that many varieties, that much
Yeah.
variety. That's very,
Yeah.
Mhm.
very
And there's
How
the
fascinating.
fun.
purists who say that these aren't real butter tarts, but they're
Mhm.
still they're still delicious. They still have the components of
Yeah.
a butter tart. Yeah.
Yeah, you have your criteria. As long as it has
Yes.
this, this, and this, then it'll
That's right.
count. So,
Yeah.
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 yes. All
Wow.
right. So
That's
we
awesome.
want to play a little game with you if you're cool with that.
Okay.
This game is called This or That. We play it every episode.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. We just ask you uh, to choose between two different things, usually
Okay.
two or three, and you just tell us the first thing off the top of your head. Sometimes we go
Okay.
down rabbit trails. Sometimes we just move on to the next question.
Okay.
And we have already asked you, well, you've answered without us
Goodies, you've
asking
already answered
the
along the
first
way.
question, which is butter tarts, raisins, or no raisins?
No
And you have
raisins.
said
Yep.
no raisins.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I have a t-shirt that says raisins are the tears of the devil.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. It is so true. Now your family does your family have their own butter tart recipe as
Yeah.
well? Yeah,
Yeah.
and
My mom makes one, and when I make it for my father-in-law and for his brother, they say it reminds them of what their butter tarts that their grandmother made.
oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And
Your
so
tradition.
obviously no raisins in those.
My
Uh,
mom does put raisins in them sometimes. For my father-in-law and his brother, definitely raisins. They love raisins in their butter tarts. That's something not but for myself. My family would eat raisins in them, but I don't like them, and I'm the one baking them. So, ha, you
There
don't
you
get
go.
raisins in them.
You have all the power.
Yes.
Yes, you do.
So, and yours is just like a plain raisin or plain butter tart. There's no other things you put in there, or do you have
No.
anything special? Like, do you do currants or do you do
Yeah.
nuts or anything
If
like that in them?
yeah, if I'm making my mom's and I'm making it for my father-in-law, I'll put raisins in it. I also have another recipe that I have that I found over the years that has maple syrup in it. My
Okay.
mom's uses completely corn syrup, and it's
Mhm.
a little bit runnier. And I found this other one that has 2 eggs in it and the maple syrup, and it's a bit firmer, but it still has a nice goo. And I do like that one there. But I won't contaminate the filling with anything either.
Fair enough. A purist.
Yes.
Mhm. That sounds
That's
very good.
totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. I think you've also answered this one, but the crust or filling, what's the best part of a butter tart for you?
Filling.
Yeah.
Filling. We had a vendor once selling just filling in a jar.
Oh,
Just
smart.
yes.
Could put that over your Chapman's ice cream.
That's right, you could.
That'd
Yeah.
be really good.
You could use that for a lot of really good things.
Yes, you could.
Yes, you
Yeah.
could. I would
Very
enjoy
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Gooey filling or firm filling? And I think you've
Gooey,
said
gooey, but not an elbow liquor.
Okay. So you don't want it dripping down.
That's right.
drops down your arm. Okay. An
Got it.
elbow. Can't lick your elbow, so
Yeah,
you
that's
better
right.
not have
Yeah.
it that gooey.
No,
Yes.
I love that description of it. And we all know what that means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it took me a
Joy.
second. I don't know if you're gonna get that shot, but I was kind of like, for a second.
And I'm like, oh yeah.
Do you like an elbow licker, Christina?
No,
No, thank
no,
you.
no. I'm a sort of that midway between
Yeah.
yeah, it's got to be
Nicely set.
you take a bite
Yeah.
of it, it's got to stay, but not
Yes.
too firm where you're like,
Hmm.
it's too,
Plunk?
yeah,
Yes.
like, like Jello, like it can't
Yeah, you don't
be
want that.
gelatinous,
Oh.
I guess, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's got
Oh.
to have that
Yeah.
right balance. Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
Okay. Do you eat them warm, room temperature, or because you save them and pop them in your freezer, do you like
Yeah.
just take them out of the freezer and eating them cold?
I've eaten them all 3 ways.
All three ways? Do you have a
Yeah.
preference?
Probably room temperature, just because sometimes it can get a little, if they're frozen,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a little hard to eat sometimes. And then if they're
Plunk.
too warm, then they do fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Oh, but sometimes that's nice to take
Yeah.
something warm and just have it make
Put a
a
scoop of ice
giant
cream
mess
on.
everywhere because it
Yeah.
tastes so good.
Scoop of ice cream and then
Yeah.
drizzle with some of that extra filling on
Hmm.
top.
Yeah.
Ah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
That, yeah, good. But
Mhm.
there is something about like a cold tart, or maybe not right out of the freezer, but like just
Yeah.
slightly thawed.
Mhm.
Yes.
There's like, that's
Yeah.
like a nice way of having them too, I think.
Yeah. It'd have to be a plain one because I wouldn't want to bite into a frozen pecan.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that are good like that. We used to do
Yeah.
pumpkin muffins, zucchini muffins, all kinds of things like that, and just have bags of them in the freezer. And the
Hmm.
kids would just pull it out, let it sit for like 5, 10 minutes, and then
Yeah.
eat it as a treat.
Yeah.
Chocolate bars are always nice when they're
Yeah.
taken straight out of the fridge or the freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Macarons.
Hmm.
Macarons, I
I like
guess.
out of the freezer.
Yeah.
Cookies, squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We eat it all out of the
Yeah.
freezer. My father-in-law loves shortbread straight out of the freezer.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
than off a plate. So like warm at room temperature.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
totally agree with you on
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess you've answered the next question too, which is nuts in butter tarts, yes or no? So not if it's frozen, you don't want it to have
No, I,
nuts
I
in
yeah, I
it.
prefer pecans if it's going to
Yeah.
be a nut versus a walnut.
Yeah. You don't have a problem with nuts in general,
No,
but you would prefer it to be.
I like plain. I like the
Okay.
filling. Yeah.
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 Sounds
Yeah.
good.
But
Good,
if I
good,
had to
good.
rank them, it would be plain pecan, then raisin.
Right.
Or
Okay.
take raisin right off the table. But yeah.
So out
Well,
of the entry, oh, sorry. Like
that's okay.
are people like, so the traditional category, how many are actually just plain, like that you see
Oh, it
that,
varies. It varies year to year.
Mm.
I'd say we probably get a few more plain and pecan ones than we do raisin ones, but we do get raisin ones as well in the contest.
yeah, because then you've got to be really sure that your filling is going to be outstanding,
Yeah.
because that's all you have. You've got your
Yeah.
crust and you've got your filling, and that
Yeah.
the simplicity of that,
Hmm.
has to
Yeah.
just be
Yeah.
really perfect to
Hang
Yes.
on. Yeah.
really stand out
Yes.
in somebody's mouth.
Yeah.
Taking that bite. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense. I like to soak my raisins in rum. Does that
Oh,
make
okay.
any difference to you?
Nope.
Okay, how about just straight rum in the
Nope.
butter tart then?
Yeah. I have had butter tart liqueur, butter tart cream liqueur, butter tart moonshine, butter tart beer.
Oh, butter tart
I
beer.
haven't tasted yeah, I have some here actually. It's a can from years
I
ago.
was gonna say, with you?
I actually I just keep it in my office. It's still sealed. Um,
That sounds really good.
yeah, then also there's a butter tart whiskey that I haven't tried. They were at our festival a couple of years ago, but I was too busy to get down there to have a sample of it.
Okay, now this brings me to a question that I hadn't thought of, but are people giving you like butter tart gifts all the time, like butter tart
No.
tart keychain or butter tart fridge magnets? Just be like
Earrings.
I have a lot of
earrings.
butter tart paraphernalia in my office. I have three different butter tart mugs. I have original paintings of butter tarts on my walls. Um,
And that's
so,
enough.
and we make buttons for the festival we give to our volunteers. And National Butter Tart Day is right before the festival, so we always celebrate that and bring buttons to the downtown vendors so that they can wear them on the festival day and that day. So yeah, and
Perfect.
someone gifted me a pillow when they were moving once. That one side it says real butter tarts have raisins and then the other side says real butter tarts don't have raisins. So
That's a
guess
great
which side
pillow.
is facing up in my office right now?
We don't have to guess.
Yes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Now, do people turn that pillow around for you? Like, do
No, no one would dare
jokingly
touch
come
my
into your
pillow.
office
No.
and
The cleaning staff have commented on it to me. She agrees with the side that I have showing.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
amazing. That's
that is
great.
okay. Where were
All
we?
right.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy your tarts with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or maybe something else?
Just on their own's fine.
What's that?
Just on their
On
own is
their
fine.
own.
On their
Doesn't need
own,
any
so you
coffee or
don't
No.
tea
need
or
anything.
moonshine.
No.
Yeah.
But you said there during the judging when
Yes.
you're going through so many different
Hmm.
butter tarts so quickly,
Yes.
and you have different beverages available.
Yeah.
Do you see a preference there of what they choose as their butter tart chasers or
Yeah.
palate cleansers?
I find in the morning they're more water drinkers. In the
Mm.
afternoon, they ask for coffee.
Oh,
It's
That's
funny. Yeah.
amazing! Yeah.
Yeah. I think it also depends on the judges. Like, honestly, I've never had a cup of coffee in my life. I don't like the smell.
Ah,
So
Oh,
yeah, I would never have a cup of coffee. Um, so that's why that answer is,
yeah, then you
I would just eat them.
definitely wouldn't want
that's
that with a
totally
butter
fair.
tart.
But also water is a really good palate cleanser for that. But also if someone's really struggling, we will get them, maybe a piece of watermelon or some
Yeah.
cucumbers just to help them cut that taste that they've got going in their mouth and give them a
Yeah.
little something different.
Yeah.
And do you find that it is like that you do get a lot of people who do struggle through eating, well, especially in the morning session, because you have like 70 different butter tarts to
Yeah.
go through.
What a way to start a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have seen them some come get off the stage looking a little green that
Yeah.
Yeah.
they love butter tarts, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You need to have something to take that sweetness away afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though
Yeah. So
you've been eating for a couple of hours, but you just still need a little something.
do you give the judges like a prep sheet, like some kind of recommendations, like eat a good meal so that you're not going to feel sick to your stomach, or don't eat anything because you're going to have lots of sugared stuff for your breakfast?
Yeah.
What types of,
Yeah.
drinks would be best to cleanse their palate with, etc.?
Yeah, not so much that. Some people have judged for us a number of years in a row. They know that, having a few eggs in the morning, a couple hard-boiled eggs, gives them that protein,
Yeah.
gets some energy, but it's not going to interfere with tasting all the butter tarts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we let them be on their own as well to figure out they're all adults. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
True.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
That is
And
true.
how many judges, sorry, did you have for the morning session?
yeah.
And
12 in the morning, a different 12 in the afternoon, and then later in the afternoon, another
Great.
different three.
okay,
Yeah,
cool. Wow.
yeah.
That'd be so much fun.
I think so.
It is a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely keep us in mind because
Okay.
that
Yeah, we
that
will.
would be really fun.
Yeah.
Christina's like, I'll take all the ones without raisins.
Try the other ones. I would do
Yeah.
Yeah,
the decent thing and try them
Yeah.
all. And you know what? Like you were surprised too, right? So
exactly.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's about having the right combination of flavors and
Mhm.
textures
Yeah,
that just really balance itself. Like it just, do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the combination of everything
yeah,
can be magic, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
We should actually point Karen to that clip of when I realized that I liked raisins and butter tarts because that was a pretty funny moment for both of us.
shocking, shocking.
Shocking. Yeah,
Yes.
she was shocked.
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I think she almost like ended our podcast right there. Not just that episode, but she's like, I'm not doing this with you.
It was almost a deal breaker for me. I'm not going
Really? Really? Hmm.
to
Hopefully not really.
lie.
All
Just kidding.
right. Moving on. Flaky or crumbly crust?
Ooh, flaky.
Yeah, flaky
Yeah.
sounds good to me too.
Yeah.
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 I feel like that crust will really make or break a
Yeah.
butter tart,
It
regardless
can.
of how amazing that filling is. Like
Yeah.
having that vessel just be
Yeah.
the right for whatever that filling
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. It really does matter when you think about, you don't want to bite into your butter tart and find a really thick base of crust either, because it doesn't always
True.
cook all the way through. So it does
Mhm.
have to be consistent the whole way around. Like the whole piece of crust that
Yeah.
you're getting has to be a nice consistent thickness. Like not thick,
hmm
the thickness in general. I don't want thick
Yes.
crust, but
Not
yeah.
thick, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
what would you call it? I guess it is just thickness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you find that, obviously you have all of the different variations in the filling part of
Mhm.
the butter tart, but do you see a lot of variation in the crust part of the filling or of the butter tarts that are presented at the festival?
I've seen them where they're made with shortbread,
Mm-hmm.
and we also have people who make gluten-free ones. So they're modifying their crust a little bit there as well. But yeah, I've seen the shortbread one a little bit more popular than but most of the time it's a traditional crust.
Crust. Okay.
Yeah.
And is that so? But do you have any specific parameters around or rules around the crust that you can use, or can you actually do whatever you want? It's just got to have some sort of crust.
It has to look like a butter tart, be the shape of a butter tart. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But if someone's in the wild style category and they wanted to use it, I guess if they wanted to, use a cookie, like a shortbread cookie or a different variation of a cookie for their crusts,
They
yeah.
could do that.
Mhm.
But that would be stepping away from what a butter tart is. So the but judges might have issue with that as well.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. So it might just depend on who the judge is too for that
Yeah.
particular one.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
yeah.
fun. It's so fun. Okay.
Yes.
All
Next
right.
question, Christina.
Yes. Do you enjoy butter tarts as sort of a midday snack treat, or having them for dessert after dinner? When's
Most
your
typically after dessert, but there are times when we have butter tarts in the office,
Mhm.
and those will be eaten in the afternoon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So even though you are inundated by butter tarts for on the lead up to the festival,
Yeah.
the time of the festival, probably after the festival, when you still have like lots of butter tarts, you still eat butter tarts throughout the year. You never tire of butter tarts.
Well, yeah, we don't keep butter tarts here. Um, so after the contest is done, what we do is throughout the days with the contest, as people are eliminated from the contest, we start to put together mixed packs of all the contest tarts, and we bring those down to Scotiabank and they sell them. So
Oh, great.
when they enter the contest, we ask for actually more than what we actually need for the contest itself, because we sell these ones. It's a mixed pack for $15. So you're getting both traditional and wild style in there. You could get a winner in your 6-pack. We sell them for $15, no tax. And therefore you have a chance to maybe get a winner in your pack. And this fund money goes back into, because we give out cash prizes, we give out plaques. There's a lot of expenses associated with running the festival. So,
Yes.
so we do sell them. So there aren't any butter tarts left for me to take home at the end of the day, except
Mhm.
for one of each of the top 4 winners. I do take those home.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
And
yeah,
then your husband's filling up your
that's
cold
Those
what
are
it,
for
what,
him, though.
yeah, well, he does buy the ones that I ask him to purchase, like
Oh,
the,
good.
chocolate peanut butter ones and
Yeah.
the,
Ooh.
yeah,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
getting so many ideas now for
yeah,
different butter
Right?
tart varieties I want to
yeah.
try making.
Too
Yeah.
fun.
If
I
you look
know.
at our website, you can see the winners from the past years. We list who won and
Perfect.
what kind of butter tarts they won with.
Ooh, I will take a look at that. And the website is, oh, it's under
Yeah,
midland.ca.
well, it's buttertartfestival.ca. That will direct
Oh,
you there as well.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Question 9. Eat
Yep.
with a fork or pick them up.
No, pick them up.
She's like, did you run out of questions or something?
um, our judges do eat them with a fork just so that they can cut that one piece, and then they eat with their fingers. But I guess they don't eat with a fork; they eat with a knife. But no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, not with now. No,
Yeah.
unless I'm sharing with my family, like where I take home the winners and I cut them into 4, so we each get a little sample, a little
But still
taste.
use your fingers to pick up
Yes,
that
yeah, of
quarter.
course, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the finger to go along the plate if it's too gooey and some goo is left behind.
A little less. Yeah.
Finger
Yeah,
looking good, not
yeah,
elbow looking, but
that's
finger
right.
looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good slogan. Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway.
Yes, exactly. How fun. And so when you're taking them home, would you prefer one giant tart or a dozen little mini ones to share?
Oh, I have made a giant butter tart before. It was a Canadian living recipe, and it was like 9 inches in diameter. Um, but that becomes more like pie, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, right. It's a butter
Yeah,
tart.
so probably smaller ones to share because yeah, we do bring a lot in butter tarts here for our the other staff at the town of Midland to
Yeah.
enjoy as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun. So fun.
That's it for our questions. I
Okay.
mean, we actually had a lot of questions about butter tarts.
Yeah, I know.
It's quite
can't,
impressive, hey?
I can't believe we talked for butter tarts for an hour.
I know. I'm really glad that we did, but it's just gotten me so excited about the idea of the Butter Tart Festival and made me like really psyched up to want to come.
I hope you do.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I really want to talk to Christina more about this because
Yeah.
I
I
think
think it
Yeah.
would be so much fun to be
it
there,
would be.
Yeah.
you
It
know.
would be.
Yeah.
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 It is something to experience. It is a great day. The weather gods, knock on wood somewhere, they do love butter tarts because we have been fortunate. I might be jinxing us, but we have been
Knock
very
on
fortunate in the
wood.
past. Yes. But everyone says, what's the weather going to be? And I always say, I've got the weather order in. So,
Yeah,
Perfect
perfect.
you. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, amazing. I think it's so cool that you guys put this on every single year. It's such
Yeah.
a fun event.
Yeah.
Obviously, hugely popular. You get
Yeah.
so many people coming in year after year and probably growing attendance, I would imagine,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
so many people are into. Well, that's one of the good things about those 2 years that we'll leave unmentioned.
Yeah.
And you couldn't have that. I think a lot of people did get into baking
Yeah.
and experimenting and got inspired to get into their kitchens and
Yeah.
and bake. And so I think there's just a lot more interest and it's just part of our culture. I think,
It is.
especially here in Canada and around the
Yeah.
world, to really, bake a bit more and enjoy the different things and really get to know and get inspired by other
Mhm.
people who bake as well. So I think this is such a cool thing that you do, and I wish you much success in the coming years as well. And
Thank you.
hopefully we will make it out there
I hope so.
to take part
Yeah,
in as well.
that would be great. Christina, do you think we should ask for a baking scrap
We can,
from Karen?
since Karen is a baker.
So we
So
always ask for a baking scrap at the end of our podcast and just basically ask, do you have a tip or a trick to share with other people? It can be about butter tarts, can be about running a festival, or it can be about baking. Just for people who might
Yeah.
be new to baking, or even
Yeah.
just something that's a handy little trick for
Yeah.
people who've been baking for a while.
Okay. In terms of baking, my mother always said, if you can read, you can bake. So if you follow your recipe, it should turn out. In terms of organizing a festival, you have to be organized and have
Yeah.
lots of notes.
Yeah, I bet you have
Yeah.
fair
spreadsheets
enough.
upon spreadsheets.
We have lots of notes.
Yeah. Good.
And obviously your notes are incredible
Yeah.
because like I said, you put on such a
Yeah.
fantastic festival. And so second Saturday in June,
That's right.
Mhm.
every year in
Every
the
year.
town of Midland.
Yes.
Make sure you mark that in your calendar and be sure to make it out there to take in the Butter Tart Festival.
Yes,
Really it sounds so fun.
Yeah.
it really does. And did you say buttertartfestival.ca or
Yes.
okay.
Buttertartfestival.ca. You can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel so inspired right now. Look, I want to go in my kitchen and start baking butter
And
tarts
hungry.
Yes.
and
So it's 1
hungry.
o'clock there, right? And
Yes.
because
Yes,
from now I'm going home for
Definitely.
dinner shortly. So
We're
yeah.
ready for some lunch. So that
yes.
sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Thanks so
Karen.
much for inviting me.
Really fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks
We
so much.
appreciate it. Okay. And we
All
look
right.
forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. Thanks so much.
Take care,
Thanks.
Karen.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Bye.
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 I think we have to plan this, our
We
trip.
definitely do. We definitely do. How much fun would it be to eat through all
I,
of those butter tarts?
I mean, I don't really care that much about eating all the butter tarts, but I'm interested in seeing the it just feels like it would be so much fun. And all the
Totally.
people that you would get to meet and all the new bakers we would get to speak with that we hadn't met before
Yeah.
and to get to talk to Karen in person.
Yep.
Yeah, and just see what kind of combinations people will come up with, you know?
And eating all the
Butter
butter
tarts.
tarts.
Yeah, you can eat all the butter tarts.
I'll take the ones without raisins.
Well, there are some interesting flavors, man. Sometimes I wonder, can they really still call it a butter tart if they are putting completely different ingredients into it? So I think this will be something we would really enjoy finding out firsthand.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think Karen said as part of that, I think there are certain parameters, right? It has to have the crust, it has to have the basic ingredients of a butter
Yeah.
tart. And then after that, it's
Yeah.
use your imagination for the wild card.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Fascinating. Well, that was really
Totally.
fun chatting with her. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Yes, same. So,
Awesome.
and maybe we should have a challenge for this week
What's that?
to actually produce or to do what a butter tart for this week for our bake of the week.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
each do a butter tart and create one,
With weird flavors?
whatever you want. You could do
Okay.
classic or you could do wild card, whichever.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
Yeah, I'm down.
we'll show everybody on Thursday.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, done.
Okay. You have
Challenge.
to remind me though, because my brain is empty.
This is your reminder.
No, you have to give me a real reminder.
This is your real reminder.
Oh man. All right. Well, good luck seeing what comes out of my kitchen then.
Too fun. But what a really great discussion with Karen. And yeah, I'm glad her pillow is faced in the right direction and nobody screws with it. Because I know that would be
It would be upsetting.
it
Yes.
would be upsetting. It would be one of those things, right? That you have that ongoing.
Kind of like my little sign here that says I'm busy. Oh, is it upside down?
It's upside down.
All right.
But
Well, it says I'm busy and it says I'm trying to look busy. I always have it like this. Nobody's allowed to change it. I'm always just trying to look busy.
Right? Does it make it I think it just
It
makes
just
you
makes me feel
better.
less busy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you for hanging out with me today, Christina. And
Well, thank you to everybody out there who's watching or listening for hanging out with us again today as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the fun
was
discussion, the
sharing.
fun banter all about butter tarts, and put it in your calendar. Like head out there. It just seems like such a fun place to go visit and just take in all of that excitement. And if you like butter tarts, it is definitely the place to be
Definitely.
to find your favorite.
Yeah. Next June.
Next third Saturday in June.
Excellent. Be there or
So
be square. Be there or be in a Nanaimo bar. Be a butter tart.
be a butter tart
All right. Make me
without
stop.
raisins, preferably.
Or with raisins. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for
Happy
joining us.
baking.
Happy baking.